Stampers, this is Alison with another video. Today I wanted to show you the technique of coloring your own vellum. I really love this technique. I haven't done it in a long time, and I thought this stamp set would just lend itself beautifully to coloring just the vellum instead of using cardstock. So I started with this brand new stamp set called Joyful Christmas. It's from the holiday catalog. It's got this beautiful poinsettia. It's also got a separate leaf and a couple of sentiments, and it's really gorgeous and something that is timeless. Poinsettias are timeless, I think. So let me show you how I colored the vellum and what it looks like when you're done. The first thing I did was take a piece of vellum and just cut it to about 4 by 4, just large enough for the stamp to fit on. And then I took a brayer and some ink, and I've chosen cherry cobbler because I think it works well for the color of the poinsettia, a traditional color. And you just ink up your brayer just like I've shown you in previous videos. You run your brayer right through the stamp pad. You don't go back and forth, you run it right through. Once you've got it all inked, you're just going to run it all over your piece of vellum. And I just keep going and going until all those little lines have disappeared. And if you think you need more ink, you can apply it. I'm just going to keep going with this and get as much ink off of my brayer as I can. Spread it around. Just add a little bit more. Just make it a little bit more vibrant. And that looks good to me. Now the next thing you want to do is let this dry. And that can take a while because vellum is something that the ink has to sort of settle into. But to speed it up, you can use your heat tool, and the one from Stampin' Up! Has 2 settings. It has a 1 and a 2, and I'm going to use 1 because it will not buckle my vellum, which is really awesome because the other heat guns are too hot and they just buckle it and it all becomes hard to work with. So you're just going to lightly go over this with your heat gun until it's completely dry. Once that's done, I could work on this side, but just in case there's spots that aren't completely dry, the embossing powder, because I'm about to emboss this, will stick to that ink, and I don't want that. So I'm going to turn it over just to be safe. I'm going to take a embossing buddy, and I'm just going to rub it all over like so. I'm going to bring in my poinsettia. Now I could ink this up with Versamark, but I'm going to choose to ink it up with the Silver Encore ink, which is a pigment ink, so the embossing powder will stick. And I'm using silver just because I'm going to emboss in silver, so why not use silver? If I miss a spot, it'll still be silver, and that's how I'm going to avoid those little spots that you might miss. So just stamp that on there like so, and add your embossing powder, just like you normally would. And I'm just going to pick this up by the corner and fold it in half and just make sure I get everything I need on that side, and then I'll just add more to this side, and there we go. And you can see that because I'm working on the opposite side from what I inked, there is no stray embossing powder. I'm going to use it at number 1 so my paper doesn't buckle. And I love this because it's so quiet this one. You can hear me even in my video over the machine. I love this. Look at that, how it's changing. This is one of the first things I learned to do when I stamped about 20 years ago, and it still wows me today. And my customers, they just love embossing. So go ahead and finish that up. So that's all done, and I'm going to set that aside to just cool down. And then I'm going to create another one exactly the same, so I'm going to have 2 so that I can cut them out. Once I've cut them out, this is what they look like. So I've cut out the entire flower, and then I've cut out just the center of the flower because I'm going to pop that up on top just so it gives it some more dimension. I'm also going to bring this back in to show you. I'm also going to color some more vellum in Old Olive for the leaves, and I'm going to do the exact same process. I'm going to color it, I'm going to dry it, turn it over, silver, stamp, and emboss the leaf, and cut it out. Let me just bring in the card again to show you. So here's the 2 pieces that I've cut out of the red, cherry cobbler, and then here's the leaves cut out of an Old Olive colored piece of vellum. And I just want to show you some other things about this card. This embossing folder is adorable. It's called Pretty Print Textured Impressions Embossing Folder. Try saying that 3 times. And it is available in the Holiday Mini Catalog. And what I love about it, it is not just for Christmas. It's really a nondescript script, if there's such a word, meaning that you can use it for any occasion. You can't really read it. It's just a bunch of writing. And so it's awesome for Christmas cards or thank you cards or birthday cards or any card you can think of. And then I've just added a bit of the silver ribbon. This is also in the Holiday Mini. This is really gorgeous ribbon. I just wrapped that around. And then in the center here, hopefully you can see, I've added one of these frosted finishes embellishments. And you get 12 of them in a container, and these are to die for. Unbelievably gorgeous. And just in case you think, well, that's really nice, but gosh, how many, snowflake cards can I make with that? I'm going to show you another card that I've made using this, which is nothing to do with Christmas. And here it is. This is the Flower Garden bundle, which is the stamp set and the punch to match. And look at this. I've added this to the center of this flower, and I have rhinestones on these ones. And this just fits right in. It doesn't even look like a snowflake on top of there. It just looks like a beautiful center of a flower. So you're not restricted to using them just for Christmas. So I hope you've enjoyed the project for this Technique Tuesday, which is coloring vellum. So now you can go forth and make it any color you want and not be restricted by just plain old white vellum paper. Thanks for joining me today for this Technique Tuesday, and happy stamping.
If you wanna play, make it a better place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line. Let us see inside.